Hi friends, it's Julia. I'm here to share a layout that I created for Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches Round 6. And I'm using my October 2019 Counterfeit Kit Challenge kit. Now for this layout, I did not follow along exactly as the sketch was. This is actually day 15, and the sketch, I turned it to its side. So the rounded portion that I just cut out, instead of going to the bottom, it will actually be along the side. And so I really like how this one turned out, but I've liked how everyone has turned out. Um, one or two has not been my favorite so far, but yeah, I'm loving doing these sketches. I am a sketch girl, and so I always start off with a sketch anymore. Very seldom, if ever, well, not if ever, because occasionally I will do a layout without a sketch, but not very often. Maybe 3 or 4 times a year is all. Anywho, here I've got, there was a border element that split the lower portion, the rounded portion of the layout with the upper portion of the layout. And I think they use paper, but here you can see I'm using paper and washi tape to create a border piece that's going to go divide the circle from the rest of the page. And I'm using scraps a lot of times to create with this layout because I am actually getting low on the 12 by 12 pattern papers. I still have several, but I have specific layouts in mind for those. So rather than use paper to, like the 12 by 12 pattern paper to back the photo, I'm using some of the tissue paper that I had added into my kit as the specialty paper. So you can see I'm just trimming out the pink, and I'm going to also use black to go around the edges of that to create my photo mat. And it works out really well. It gives it some dimension and depth without adding a lot of texture, if you will. It doesn't add bulk to your page. And that's something that as you go by over years, you really realize the bulky items in your albums can really play havoc on layouts as time goes by. I have layouts that have been in my album for 20 plus years, and the bulky items have created bumps and such on all the layouts in the album, not just the one next to it. I mean, it's an ongoing bump over the course of time, which I don't mind. I mean, really and truly, when we pull those albums out and look at them, I don't look for the flaws. I'm looking at the photos and the layouts and reading the stories, and yeah, and that's what it's all about. So here I'm looking for something to go behind the photo. So I choose a little bit of this gold, not gold, the glasses paper that has some gold embellishment to it. And I want that to be mostly to the left side of the photo, and I'm going to have the right side sticking off of it is initially what I had planned. But then as I go along, for whatever reason, I change it up some and put the photo right to the edge of that paper, and it just is not the same for me. So I'm getting a lot of this stuff stuck down now. And you guys know me. As I go along, if I'm not 100% happy with the way things are turning out, see, I love that. I had it hanging off a little bit more, and for whatever reason, when I glued it down, I lined it up with that edge of the paper with just a sliver showing. I don't know what possessed me. I really don't. But it's okay. I mean, it turns out well in the end because it gives me a place to put the title. So there I'm taking a washi strip, and I am just going to add it there. I'm going to use half of it at the bottom and the other half at the top so I don't waste anything. There's no sense in putting in, 2 washi strips there that are 6 inches long to create a 12-inch banner when only part of it shows. So yeah, and my paper was a little bit longer, and so I'm going to go in and peel that washi tape back and trim it up a little bit and tack it back down to the back side. So so far, this layout is turning out really well, and I'm liking how it looks. I love the finished layout. This is day number 15, so I have completed 15 layouts with this kit, which is just amazing to me. I just can't imagine so far. I mean, I get a lot of layouts out of my kits, but I'm really working hard. I want to be able to use this entire kit for the month of October and getting these layouts done. I don't want to dig into another kit, but if I have to, I will. But for the moment, I'm making it last. Now, mind you, I do have tons of 6x6 papers in my kit as well. So it's not like I'm about to run out of anything. The 12x12 papers are getting a little bit low, and that's okay. And I know I'm going to have to add in some additional cardstock for my backgrounds because that I'm almost out of. I think I have a few sheets left, mostly black, I think. Um, but yeah, so I decided I'm going to put that doily down there, and then I do that. So it goes right into the recycle bin. I didn't even try and salvage it and use it in a different location. So I'm going to pick that whole section up there and lay that down. Now that black tag is actually one that was from my leftovers bin, and it was a Christmas tag. You can't really tell it the way that I cover it with the gold tag that um, it had a Norwegian Christmas theme to it. But if you saw the entire tag, you may realize it. But with only seeing a portion of it, you really can't tell. And because on that photo corner, when I tried to tuck the entire thing under the base of the photo corner under, it stood up too tall. And sometimes that happens with those pre-made photo corners like that. So I just popped the top of it off, the little gold piece, and then tacked that right down on my photo. Supposedly the washi tape itself is acid free, so hopefully it won't hurt the photo. But you know, in 100 years from now, when someone's looking at the photo album or the scrapbook album, it might have. I don't know. At that point, I don't really think I'll care. Anywho, so the original sketch had a um, circle with um, banner strips up in one of the corners, and so I'm kind of mimicking that by using this hexagonal shape in the banners up there. I mean, I don't even peel the backing off that. It is a sticker, but I don't even peel the backing off because I want to give it a little bit more dimension, because when you peel the sticker off, the paper that it's on is pretty thin, and so leaving the backing on actually works out well. So you can see I had pre-made the page kit that I was going to use. And so I had put the title as well as the journaling down with stickers down on that wax paper, which I've been trying to do a little bit more in preparation of getting these layouts done. Like the night before, you know, I will lay out photos, or if I get behind, I have taken the layouts that I want to create, stacked up the embellishments and everything that I want to use on it, and then when I get the time, then I catch up, you know. So here I am, I decide I want another piece of paper to go back behind um, that layout. And if you guys know me, a layout is not complete until I rip something up and change something around. So there I took the journaling off of the wax paper and put it on the edge of my ruler, and now I'm just going to stick it down and peel that right off. And that's just what works best for me. I tried, like on my first or second layout that I did this way, I tried to go directly to the paper, but it didn't work for me. I can't make a straight line for anything. And this allows me to keep a straight line with my letter tiles and keep everything together. And this is how I've always done it, and this is probably how I will always do it. And I do the same thing with the title here in a few minutes, or I may have gone straight to paper with that one. Now, I did have a paper in the kit that had these butterflies on them, and I cut off a section of it, and then I fussy cut all the butterflies out. And I'm using 3 here on this layout. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I will use on this layout. And I'm going to put part of it down with a glue dot, and then I will put a piece of foam tape under the other side to give it a little bit of extra depth and dimension. Not that you can really tell it a lot, but I can tell it when I'm looking at the layout. You can see that little bit of lift under the butterfly wing that's got the foam tape under it. And so this layout is actually getting pretty close to the end. I will let you know I do have close-up photos at the end. So if you're interested in seeing those close-ups of the different embellishment clusters, feel free to have a look. Stick around for those, photos there at the end. I don't have a ton of them, but I took a few to give you the close-up of each different section of the embellishment clusters. I still have that little tab there on the side. I'm going to use that to put up at the top to put a date on it. Or sorry, the location, because I put the date down under the journaling with the tile stickers. So I'm looking around to see where I want to put it and where I want to put the title. And so it looks like I'm going to go straight to the paper with the title. I have chipboard letters. And after a while, chipboard letters will pop off a page if you don't add a little extra adhesive to them. And so that's what I'm doing. I've got my Tombow Multi-Mini. I think that's what it's called. Anywho, it's Tombow. And I'm putting it just a touch on the back to give it that extra strength that it needs to hold those letters down to the page. Maybe in 100 years when you buckle the page, or if the page moves, they're still going to pop off anyway. But for the time being, I have noticed when I have gone back in the last 10 years, they're still pretty well adhered whenever I use the liquid adhesive to hold them down. And so I'm using my tile letters again to put down Loving Agatha. And the story behind the photo, my granddaughter, when we first got Agatha and brought her home, my granddaughter was here and she would just wag that puppy around every which way. Yeah. And so that was her whole goal in life, was to carry that puppy around. And that puppy let her carry her everywhere. But now, of course, the puppy's a year and a half old. She's not going to let anybody carry her very far for very long. She's just that way now. Little Miss Independent there. But initially, when she was just a little baby puppy, yeah, she would let Shawnee, my granddaughter, wag her around wherever she wanted to. She was her little baby dog. So I have a couple of little wood veneer, the potty people, and I've been seeing a resurgence of potty people recently. People digging around in their stash and finding their, massive hoard of potty people and pulling them out and using it. Kind of funny. I'm doing the same thing because I have recently rediscovered them, and they were in this kit. But being able to pull them out and get them used up, I had pulled potty people and buttons to use on with this kit because of the fact that I had not been using them for a while. I think potty people were in, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And I bought a ton of them. I think I bought like 2 or 3 packages. And it's like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. When am I ever going to get these finished off? Yeah, I should have bought probably half of a package. Anyway, guys, we're at the end of the layout. I'm adding my finishing touches here, my little flat back pearls and enamel dots. And then the layout will be done. I appreciate you guys for being here today, and I appreciate you watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.